Yo, what is good guys, back here with another YouTube video, and in case you cannot tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my personal top 5 favorite John Cena matches, and I figure with today marking 21 years since his WWE television debut against Kurt Angle on an episode of SmackDown back in the day, like a year and a half before I started watching regularly and whatnot, I figured I would share my favorite John Cena matches, and I know that this would have made more sense to do this time last year, celebrating 20 years, but honestly, did not think of this video idea until like last night kind of deal and whatnot. But either way, for myself personally, these are my favorite matches. This isn't his best matches. And before I share my list, a couple of things. Would love to know what are some of your favorite John Cena matches. Would love to know down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification and whatnot. And one last thing about this list, it's in no particular order. It all kind of depends on the day kind of deal. Like, these are, again, without a doubt, my favorite John Cena matches, but I just can't place them 1 through 5 kind of deal. Or it would change tomorrow, which would be a different list than the day after and whatnot. But either way, would love to know your list down in the comments below. And the first one I want to talk about is actually the oldest match on this list. It was from Unforgiven 2006 and whatnot versus Edge TLC match for the WWE Championship. And for myself personally, I was 12 years old. I live at that time like an hour and a half north of Toronto kind of deal. I couldn't go, kicked myself in the butt for a while after that kind of deal. I don't know for sure, honestly, if my 12-year-old heart could have held seeing Edge lose in person kind of deal, but watching it back on DVDs and whatnot, it's one of those, man, this was a good fun match on a B, especially on a B-level pay-per-view kind of deal and whatnot. But either way, one of my favorite Cena matches was his feud with Edge, and I just realized looking at this list, it's oldest to newest and whatnot. And second one I would want to talk about and whatnot is his match versus Shawn Michaels episode of Raw back, I can't remember the exact date, but it was like April of 2007 and whatnot. It was the, I guess you could say, infamous match on Raw over, I want to say it was in England, but somewhere in the UK and whatnot. Lasted like half an episode of Raw kind of deal if you factor in commercials and whatnot. And this one, again, could not watch live because I was 13 by the time this came out, or not necessarily this came out, but I was 13 and I liked to sleep and whatnot during that time and whatnot. And I remember watching it the next day for or through the Raw replay that would air both Tuesday afternoons and over the weekend. And I remember thinking when the match ended, like, hey, this is like an instant really good match, which was the one of the first matches I remember thinking in real time that, hey, this is a really good match kind of deal. Like, mind of a 13-year-old thinking about like the emotions, what happened in the ring kind of deal, like the storytelling and whatnot, which is again one of the reasons why it's on my list. And another one that's on my list, WrestleMania 28 main event, the quote-unquote once-in-a-lifetime match versus The Rock. And this one is one of my favorite matches, not necessarily because of what happens bell to bell, but more so like the environment kind of deal. It was the first time that I was able to witness in real time face of one generation versus a face of another generation kind of deal. I wasn't a fan back in 2002 when it was Rock Hogan, but I was a fan in 2012 where it was Cena Rock kind of deal. And again, this match wasn't necessarily, it won't go down as one of John Cena or The Rock's best matches bell to bell, but again, the environment, around it. I was watching it in a movie theater half-hour south of where I lived. I legit lost my voice, kind of deal and whatnot, and that's honestly one of the reasons why it's one of my favorites, kind of deal and whatnot. Fourth match on this top 5 favorite John Cena matches is one of my personal favorite triple threat matches of all time. Quite possibly my personal favorite triple threat, and that's from Royal Rumble 20, I think it was 2015, if I remember right. It was Cena versus Rollins versus Lesnar for the WWE title. And this one I remember watching live, and it's like not in person live, but like at home watching and whatnot, and remember thinking, man, this is one, saving the pay-per-view kind of deal, which is, in my opinion, the only big highlight from Royal Rumble 2015 was this match. And there were points where like going in, I figured that Lesnar would walk out as champion, but there were points during that match, whether I was watching back in 2015 or nowadays, that it's like, oh, like, could Cena actually have it here? Knowing that Brock Lesnar, especially nowadays, would walk out as champion. And I have this event on Blu-ray just strictly to watch this match whenever I wanted and whatnot. But yeah, it's easily my favorite triple threat Cena has been in, and arguably one of my favorite, if not my favorite triple threat in wrestling that while I've been a fan. And last one I'm going to talk about, again, no particular order in a way of like 5 through 1 or 1 through 5 kind of deal, but it is the newest one on this list, and it's still a couple of years old, but it's his match against AJ Styles, Royal Rumble 2017, where he became 16-time champion. And this one, I know that they've had a couple of matches before this, or at least one match before Royal Rumble, for sure at SummerSlam, maybe another pay-per-view in between, or Raw, or whatever, but this one, it felt like this match was a stadium match as opposed to an arena match like it was at SummerSlam 2016 kind of deal, and it delivered. Granted, because Cena won, it ended AJ Styles' first WWE Championship run, but it was John Cena's 16th World Championship. And even if it was not for the title, but it was like AJ, Cena, one-on-one, somebody else was world champion, I would still have this on my list and whatnot. And it's one of those, if I was a hypothetical wrestler, I would want to watch this match kind of deal over and over and over again kind of deal. And I'm not a wrestler, and I would still watch it over and over and over again kind of deal and whatnot. But either way, that's my personal top 5 favorite John Cena matches. Would love to know what yours are down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. More importantly, hope you guys are doing okay mentally, emotionally, and physically.
The world that we tend to make up is nothing but a fantasy until you wake up. I feel like I'm just lying to myself, yeah. Cause I just crossed the line like I'm playing offside. I do it how I want and I'ma do it till I die. Feel like I'm just lying to myself, but it's